My group consists of 6 detectives, and I have 2 warrant service officers, and we do all of the follow-up investigations that are started at the patrol level, and generally those crimes are the more violent in nature type of crimes, and they just require investigations that would be too extensive for patrol officers to handle them alone. There was a string of street robberies. The victims were targeted. They were a weaker or softer target. Some of them were carrying packages. They were getting out of their car. Some of them were elderly. Some of them were juveniles. We were able to get surveillance video.
I was able to describe the car and noticed that it was a 2000-ish to 2005 Honda Civic. And the car was silver in color, and in the video, the front bumper and the hood were both black. These robberies continued. They hit 4 or 5 times, and then in one of the later videos, we noticed that the hood and the bumper were actually primer gray now instead of black. We were able to locate the car with the help of one of the patrol officers. We got a GPS tracker put on it. The vehicle in question had entered one of our geofence areas. So I watched it for a few minutes, and it actually was driving in circles around one of the areas of the robberies. A group of us started tracking the car via our cell phone while we were driving, and we found the vehicle over in the Wilkins precinct and actually made a traffic stop of the vehicle, apprehended the suspects in it. We were able to tie them to 6 robberies total, and also the Baltimore City Police Department came in on the search warrants of their homes in the city.
One of the cases that we've been nominated for is a case that I had, which was a robbery for hire. A guy had hired someone to rob his girlfriend of her cell phone because the cell phone had potentially damaging evidence on there of an affair. She had just got off of work. It was 2 in the morning. Walking to her car, someone approached her wearing a mask and dark clothing, and he demanded her purse. She said she saw that he had a handgun at the time, so she didn't hesitate to give up the purse. The owner heard the description and said that that sounded like a person who had been inside of there earlier. So they went back and reviewed video surveillance, and sure enough, she was able to identify that person as the suspect who had just robbed her. A co-worker of hers put stills from the surveillance video on social media. Well, lo and behold, she got lucky and someone identified the suspect saying, "I believe it to be this person." And once I was able to compare, the picture could positively say, okay, this is our guy. The owner said he remembered that the guy, when he left, drove a dark-colored car, and it had a loud exhaust and these bright yellow fog lights. So we saw the car sitting outside of there, and we did surveillance on that, and eventually he did come out, and he was apprehended. I applied for a search warrant to go and look for property. While searching the house, we located clothing that was seen in the video surveillance. We also found several face masks, ski-type masks, that was described as the suspect was wearing. We found a money bag. It was a blue money bag. Inside of there was $1,050. So we're looking through the drawers, and we come across an envelope, and inside of there was an invoice. The invoice was for a nearby restaurant, and at the bottom of the invoice there was a handwritten note, and on the note it said, "This is for a fake robbery set up to rob the suspect girlfriend for her cell phone." I thought somebody was joking with me. I said, there's no way that we just found a handwritten note with a confession. That makes no sense. I called my victim, and I told her the name that I saw on the invoice, and I asked her if she knew that name, and she said, "Yeah, I recognize that as my boyfriend." When I started doing the interview of my suspect, he admitted to committing the robbery. He stated that the money that I found was the payment for the robbery. From the time that the officers took the report to the time that both suspects were in custody, it was less than a week. On the night of the incident, she actually called her boyfriend and told her what happened, using that same phone that they were looking for that they never got, because the phone was in her pocket, not the pocketbook. So he immediately realized she still had that phone.
The best part about working in the investigative services team is that we handle a multitude of investigations. We're not just investigating one type of crime. So day to day, we never know what type of cases we're going to be assigned, and that keeps it interesting. We never know which direction things are going to go.
I've had the honor of being in that unit for about 11 years, so I've seen people come and go and worked with many different group of detectives, and it seems that people that are chosen for that unit that come in, they mesh very well.
To me, being recognized by the Police Foundation is an amazing accomplishment. I'm really proud of my guys, and I'm just glad that I have a group of guys that are in the position and have the capabilities to investigate at the level that they do.
It's an honor to be recognized for a job that I enjoy doing, we have fun at, and I'm able to come to work every day and work with the guys I do.